and it always comes with king. আমরা বাংলায় বলি বিপদ একা আসে না, বা অনেক বলি ঝামেলার শেষ নাই। So in the context of Bangladesh, that can't be more true. So essentially the point I'm trying to make is this: we are going through three critical transitions that is going to shape our economy and to some extent our future as well. Now, those three critical transitions, as you always know, for many countries, just one of them will be a big hurdle. So, three transitions. Number one, the political transition. The 12th February election, that we know, critical milestone for Bangladesh. Then, of course, we are already through a macroeconomic crisis. Even before the collapse of the past political regime, the Bangladesh economy came under tremendous strain. And even at that time, there was the IMF lending program to help us with the macroeconomic. That process was done. And now a difficult political transition. And another big one is now. And the deadline is 24th of November 2020. After this evaluation, many of the flexibilities that we have enjoyed for long are going to be withdrawn. So that is also a concern for us, like how we are going to manage these three transitions. And it doesn't stop there. Consider the global economic scenario, the pretty hard characteristics, geopolitical competition, policy uncertainty. Things are changing so fast. That was the area for all global economies. So our transition, the three transitions that I talked about, is also facing that global challenges. Nevertheless, the way I think about this, if Bangladesh can handle these three transitions, there is that opportunity that we would come out of these issues in a stronger way. And I think that should be our objective. And in this presentation, what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you what is the current state of the economy and how the economic outlook is going to turn for Bangladesh over the next at least 2 to 3 years. Now, with regard to those three transitions that I mentioned, let me begin with the macroeconomic transition. So essentially what has happened is that we all know Bangladesh has done tremendously well in terms of economic growth performance. We know this. Historically speaking, we have been one of the economy that has grown with least deviation from the average. So that has given us a more steady growth with stability. But certainly, as you can see in this particular chart, the growth rate in recent time has sort of come down a little bit. And still, I would say, compared with the global average, our growth rate is higher than the global average. So that's a good thing.
Market-driven incentives to get into the capital market, to sell their ownership and raise the capital from the market. On the other hand, because it's a prescribed price, there had been a huge moral hazard for the regulators. That's a regulatory moral hazard, rather. And got the very low quality, which have even that price has been, they reaped from the market. So the low quality, the capital or equity actually infested this market. So what happened, that is one thing is at first selection by the economy and for the equity public IPO rule that had been in place, which was really, suffering from this, the pitfalls. So, with the approach, what approach we have taken? The first of all, that it has to be market. There has to be the investor to decide the price. Those will apply for the IPO. Those will auction or bid for the IPO. They will decide their price based on the quality of the equity. So, how do the people assess the quality? Well, give them transparent information. So what we did, we created the triangulation of rules for disclosure, quality disclosure, so that the people can decide on that transparent and good quality information. Second, we created the rules that make the participators, I mean those who will engage in the IPO regulation and IPO processing. So we made them responsible and accountable in the regulation. Then comes, as you understand, the quality of that disclosure, financial reporting. In particular in Bangladesh, we have seen irresponsible forbearance from the regulator, from the banking sector, central bank as well, securities regulator also. I mean, these are the practice that has been actually allowed in the rules. So we created the rules so that there will not have much of an option for the regulators to give that irresponsible, the forbearance for the bad quality actors. So that is one part that actually gave the sufficient, incentive for the high quality stock market. Then we also observe another thing that the Bangladesh Bank actually, they are putting their full effort. If you look at the Banking Regulation Act, they want to delineate the banking role in the capital market, in the financial market. So they will support the short term or maybe the mid term if you stretch towards the longer term. So they will delineate the terms structure of the total structural leverage. So that we get they put up the rule for, let's say, leverage ratio, equity ratio for the banking or the group. So they put the limit. So automatically, those long-term requirements of the capital, they will come to the capital market. So I mean, what it had been in during last 17 years, you see the banking sector, the way they finance the corporate bodies. I mean, this capital didn't have any accountability, didn't have any responsibility. So people didn't have to pay. They siphon out the money. So it was easier for the bad actor to get into the bank rather than the capital market. So when the money in the banking system is accountable, responsible, then automatically the high quality issuer and the entrepreneur will come towards the capital market for the securities regulator. So I think if I talk about the IPO rule is well set up and well designed so that we smartly use the market drive, market force, and the market tool. Even to make the things accountable as well. Then I would like to talk about margin rule.
Can I stop here? We'll get back to you because our guest of honor has to leave.
Is due to certain things that has happened. This is not a normal NPI, but at the same time, the good thing is that finally we know the truth. Earlier we used to be happy living in fool's paradise, knowing that the country has 9% NPI. Actually, the country that time had 35% NPI. So now this is the truth. So when truth is known, the journey can begin. So knowing where we want to reach is about reaching. Now I am hopeful. We know it. Now few of the banks have very high NPLs. That's the reason the industry percentage shows like that. But as I said, good banks NPLs are below 4 in all the 50 to 20 good banks. So that is something which should give all of us hope. And this is a management issue. NPL is a management issue. NPL is also hand-holding issue, hand-holding holding the hands of the business people. There is also a structural few issues, and continuous new NPL is a governance issue.
Conversation after that. So this is the third edition of this conference that we're doing. The first one was exactly 1 year ago, give or take two weeks. And I remember doing the closing remarks at that time. We had just gone through a regime change. And I stood there and I said, when we look at the future, I see hope. I think 1 year later, we're standing on firm ground, as we heard everybody talk about. We still hear buzzwords like reform, deregulation, liberalization, inflation control, NPL, a lot of those things, which we will continue to hear. But I will go back to the word hope. This time a little bit different, the word hope. This time the hope for stable political government, wherever that may be. So good luck to both the representatives sitting here for our elections on the 12th of February. But after that, I think we can hope that the only way we will go is up. So to our investor friends who have joined us online, I hope that you continue your conversations with us and you continue to look at Bangladesh as an investment destination for the funds that you own, your personal funds and the funds that you manage. And I think we will have a conversation again 3 or 4 months after the elections. And I think we will at that time look back at this and say that it was a good conversation and a lot of what we discussed is now is now bearing fruit. So thank you very much once again to all of our panelists. Some very, very insightful comments, and we hope that you take away and continue these, looking at Bangladesh and continue these conversations amongst yourselves and with us. We're always open to dialogue. Thank you very much, and good evening.
Thank you very much, and please join us.